everybody, welcome back to another World Tour Showcase here for the 23rd World Tournament Goku. This time we have the movie Red Zone. Nothing too crazy going on in the movie Red Zone. First up here we have Turles. I don't remember anything significant about any of these fights. It looks like my Bojack file is the longest. I don't remember. I might have used Orange Piccolo in there. I don't remember. I'm literally just looking at the files right now in Premiere as I'm editing them and trying to watch it back a little bit as I go. Nothing crazy should have happened in this really up until Bojack, if anything, and that's just because he can lock you. But like Goku has really good type coverage throughout the movie Red Zone here. There's not really any bosses that can really hurt him or have any gimmicks. I mean, there is like Broly at the end, right? But Goku has a 50% chance to nullify Beam Blast super attacks, or Beam Blast or Beam Based, whatever you want to call them, super attacks. And Broly, his last two phases do those, and Broly's last phase is AGL, and Goku can get up to some really high, like, raw defense numbers, so Broly really wasn't an issue. We'll talk about that whenever we get to Broly, but here's Turles. Nothing really crazy going on here. Enjoy the rest of this little clip. We'll hop back in with some commentary for Slug. Enjoy the rest of this OST. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the next commentary on Slug. Hey, welcome back. This time we're up against the Slug fight. We got his minions up first here. Now, Slug, he's, just basically the same as Turles. He's not a difficult fight at all. You should not be struggling with Slug. If you are, take some time, develop your box, and evaluate whether or not you're bringing a good team into here. But Slug, whenever he first came out, I don't want to say he was challenging, but he was a little shocking because I think he was hitting just slightly harder than like the God Event enemies. He kind of like lulled you to sleep with this first phase, and then the next phase, people were doing showcases on Slug whenever he first came out, but we quickly realized that Slug was not going to be the peak of this game, so nothing really crazy going on in the movie Red Zone like I mentioned before. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of this clip. Hopefully we have more thoughtful commentary somewhere in here, but I would say with Slug, he's primed for a Dokkan Fest. I think, what do we have? We have Turles. He has a Dokkan Fest, but he could use a new one. His LR could use an Easy A. Slug has basically nothing. I mean, he's got like a free-to-play unit and a banner unit that sucks. I mean, both of his units sucks. We could use a new Lord Slug, and that would be like a huge buff to a lot of teams. He has pretty solid links, given that he's like a Namekian, right? But pretty good links. He'd be a big buff to Piccolo Jr. Nothing really crazy going on. I believe, what do we have next? Is next Android 13, or is next, who's next? Oh, oh, Cooler's next. That's right. We go Cooler, and then we go into Android 13. So, anyway, and hope you enjoy the rest of the Slug fight. Enjoy the rest of the OST. Blabbered on a little bit too long in this one, but whatever. We'll hop in next for the Cooler commentary, so stay tuned. Hey, welcome back again. We got some commentary here with the Cooler fight. Sorry if this is a little jarring in between how I do these. I don't know. I'm just kind of editing them as I go, and hopefully they just kind of work. But next up here, we have Cooler. We got his minions. Again, like these first couple, like 4 fights really, actually, like all the movie fights for the most part, basically play out identically. I guess up until Bojack. Bojack's the first enemy in here that really has, like, gimmicks. Android 13's a joke. Cooler's probably... Is he harder than 13? I don't know. He has a countdown. He does hit, I guess, decently hard in his second phase, but nothing here that Goku can't handle. There's not really anything I can say about this other than, you know, Goku's just a pretty good unit. Obviously, he's built to handle these red zone stages. I mean, which he should be, given that he's, like, 17 months, almost 18 months or whatever, past, like, the initial red zone stages coming out. So if he's, you know, not dominating these stages with ease, I think there would be a problem, and, but he's been doing good so far. You know, Cooler here doesn't really pose much of a threat to this team. Like I said, I've been running basically the same team throughout this entire process, and it hasn't really gone wrong so far. So, you know, if anything stands out that you want me to commentate on specifically, leave a comment below, and, you know, I'm happy to provide additional commentary. But just skimming through here doesn't look like anything crazy happened, really, in this entire movie Red Zone. So just kick back, enjoy the OST, and enjoy the rest of this fight. We'll hop back in next with Android 13. Alright everybody, next up here we have Android 13, who really can't do anything. I don't know what... They could have made this fight difficult, but they just chose not to. Now, 13 is another character that we could definitely use, like a new... I think he needs a new LR at this point. You know, we have the Dokkan Fest, you can give him an Easy A. I was really surprised he didn't Easy A with the Super 17 celebration on JP back whenever that came out. They instead Easy A'd MVP 17, the physical 17 from the Tournament of Power. That didn't really quite make sense to me. In my opinion, they should have just Easy A'd Android 13, but I guess they're saving that maybe for a potential Android 13 celebration, I guess, in the future. We could get an LR. I do think that that's what he's primed to get next, is just like a straight-up Fusion Android 13 LR. I think that would be good. It'd buff quite a few teams. Androids is in a decent spot at the moment, that if it got like a new leader that was like an Android leader, you know, because like the tech androids are still decent. You can use them in these red zone stages. You have that new Hellfighter 17. AGL Super 17 is okay-ish, but if they had a new Fusion 7 or a Fusion 13 with like the Android 13, like regular Easy A, I think you could like probably form like a decent unit. And then if you got like a banner unit 14 and 15 as well, you could definitely form like a cohesive team around those units and have like a pretty decent Android team at the moment, and that would really help Super 17. But I don't really know if Dokkan's in the business of buffing units at the moment. You know, they're kind of like picking and choosing which ones are getting buffs, which ones are just kind of left to die out here. But speaking on the actual red zone fight, Android 13 has never been tough, even though he cancels dodging, because he doesn't have any type coverage. Like the first phase is just whatever. Those guys aren't really a threat at all. And then he just has 2 AGL phases back to back, and you know, we bring Orange Piccolo in here, who's just going to curb stomp him. Yeah, and then the new Tech Goku, he doesn't even need to be guarding in this fight, because he can just build up the entire time every time he gets hit by the AGL 13. So there's really nothing that this guy can do to hurt us. Like, I don't even think he hits hard enough to catch like our non... like, who's the weakest person on this team? Like, LR Ultimate Gohan maybe is like the weakest person defensively on this team, potentially, after his garb wears off. Like, I don't even think he could kill him like one shot with a super attack if he wanted to, so... anyway, that's the 13 fight. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of this OST. We're going to hop back in with BoJack commentary next. Alright, next up here we have BoJack. Now, just looking at the initial file size, this video looks like way longer than all of the other ones, so I'm trying to figure out why exactly this fight went so long. I'm trying to see, like, what happened in this fight to cause the file size to be so long. Looks like, you know, we have a revive in here, so... Looks like we revived pretty early with Carnival... Oh, it's because we use Orange Piccolo in here. I think I just use Orange Piccolo for fun. Just to get it into the video, that's why. Listen, anytime you use Orange Piccolo, you know, you guys know, if you have them and you've used them, it just tacks on like 50 minutes to whatever you're doing. So, alright, so stay tuned. We're going to use Orange Piccolo in this fight. Now, probably why I did that, I'm not exactly sure, because again, I recorded these videos a long time ago. Let me see when I can actually, like, when did I actually record these videos? If I go to videos, movie, no item runs, do you give me a date? When were you recorded? I don't have it sorted by date. April 30th is when I recorded this, so basically like a week ago at this point. I recorded all these videos, so I have no idea what's going on in them anymore, except for a few. In the Wicked Bloodline and the Red Ribbon Army Red Zone, I definitely have an idea of what happened in some of those fights. There's a few of them I've got some commentary that we're going to talk about, so it's part of the reason why I can't put Goku as the #1 TUR. But as far as Bojack goes, he is probably well, I don't want to say he's the trickiest, but he's probably the most annoying Red Zone fight. Like, at least with Broly, you know what to expect, right? He cancels dodging, he's got the annoying AoE phase. Like, you kind of know what you're expecting going into the Broly fight. The Bojack fight, you get into that last phase, and you know what to expect, but you don't know who he's going to lock, who he's going to seal. Like, it's just super annoying to try to deal with in that last phase. Makes him somewhat unpredictable, and it's just, like, not... I don't want to say it's not fun, but it's definitely annoying. You guys know, if you've, like, done this Bojack fight, you get into that final phase, and it's like, alright, well... let's go. It's not even like a good showcase stage because like, oh, well, he sealed the showcase character. Can't do anything about that. Got to use an item. Which, not like using an item is like a sin, you know, can't do it. But it's just annoying, right? Whenever you're trying to go into these stages, kind of like get a no-item run, show off the character, be like, oh, wow, look how powerful they are. We ran them on rotation and we got a no-item run. And then you go into the Bojack fight and he's like, ha! And you just can't show off the units, so... anyway, this is the Bojack fight. It probably, I don't want to say it's the trickiest or the hardest, but it is the most probably annoying for me in this section of recordings. Because Janemba's not hard, the first 4 fights are basically free, and then Broly, I kind of know what to expect, and Goku is tech, so, like, there's basically no fear going into that Broly fight. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the OST we got playing here. Not sure which one it'll be yet. I've got a selection that I'm going to pick from. Next up, we got Janemba, so stay tuned for that. Alright, second to last here, we have Janemba. Now, I don't remember anything. Like, I feel like Janemba is one of these fights that came out, and it's just not very hard. I don't really know, like, he doesn't really have stringent type coverage. I never really think of Janemba as a difficult fight. Like, really, whenever I think of the movie Red Zone, the two fights I think of are Bojack and Broly, and that's about it. I do think about 13 just because it's so easy and it's like a big meme, but I don't ever, like, think of the Janemba fight. Like, it's here. I think I've done showcases on it before, maybe. Have I? Have I taken units into here? I don't know. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. I don't want to say it's easy, because, like, that physical Janemba can hit pretty hard. I think he has pretty decent stats, but I've just never found this stage to be very difficult. I don't know what it is. I don't know that I've ever gone into the Janemba Red Zone and, like, lost. Granted, I've never gone into it much, just because I don't use it much. It's only got a few phases, it doesn't really have any type coverages, he doesn't do any gimmicks. Like, he's just kind of here. He's got his rage mode, sure, but I don't know that he hits, like, that hard comparatively to other Red Zone bosses, right? Like, I don't really know. I don't really get Janemba. It's usually a really fast fight. You just go in, you get out. This is definitely one of those ones whenever people say, like, okay, you know, we're wrapping up fights on, like, turns 4, 5, and 6. This is what they're talking about is Janemba, you know? Now, I don't know what turn I wrap it on up here. We can probably just skim forward and see it, but it's probably, like, around turn, like, 6-ish or 7. Definitely no more than 8. If it is more than 8, let me know. But I think this one goes rather quickly, so anyway, enjoy the rest of the Janemba fight. We're going to come on with Broly next for the finale. Alrighty, here in the finale we got Broly, the Broly Red Zone fight. This is definitely, like, if you're struggling with this Red Zone, this is probably the part of the video that you're skipping to just to see how Broly performs in it. I do have, you know, Goku's own showcase in here. This is different than that run, I believe. Most of these I did do fresh recordings for. I think I cheated a little bit towards the end just because I was tired and I didn't want to run, like, Cell Max again. I was like, whatever. I was like, listen, we don't need to run Cell Max again, or maybe, like, the core I might have cheated on. I don't remember. But you guys can compare. Like, you can look at this, you can look at my initial showcase and see which ones were different. But regardless, we got no item runs, right, in all of these stages. So last here we have Broly in the movie Red Zone. Now, Broly, like, his big gimmick is that he cancels dodging, right? And it's just because he has to. If they allow dodging against this guy, you could just bring double tech Caulifla and just completely destroy this guy with no issues. His big gimmick, other than dodging, is the AoE phase, but he doesn't really hit that hard on it. I think it's 720k damage is what it does. And most of the characters on this team can have some sort of survivability against it. Even like Beast Gohan, who's probably the most susceptible to it, because we're probably going to get to that part after his guard is worn off. He still has a 50% chance to nullify the key-based super attacks, which the AoE is. So, you know, he has a 50% chance. The two leaders have a 50% chance. I'm never worried about, like, Krillin or STR Piccolo. Orange Piccolo is fine. Like, even if he did get if he got hit by the AoE before he super attacked, it's not doing more than, like, I don't know. It's not going to kill him, right? It's not going to do more than, like, 300k or something crazy. And if he's able to super first, it's going to do, like, double digits or something. I don't know. But nothing crazy really goes on in this fight. Plus, we can bring Tech God Goku, of course, who's going to be a Stonewall. We got Carnival Goku, who's got type advantage in the final phase. It's like, we're bringing 4 or 5 characters in this fight that have type advantage in the final phase. Like, it's definitely not difficult, right? It is 5, because we have the 2 leaders. We have Tech Carnival Goku, and we have Tech AGL Goku and Orange Piccolo. That's 5 Tech characters in here. And Broly doesn't really have stringent type coverage. Like, if his AoE phase was, like, int, I guess, and he was hitting... I mean, really, if his AoE phase was int, it might be a little more worrisome. Just because if Goku at that point isn't going to block the AoE, then it could definitely do some damage. And same with, like, Orange Piccolo. But they didn't really give this guy stringent type coverage. I think they did that because they knew it's like, okay, like, he's already canceling dodge and he's doing an AoE. Like, we're taking a lot of characters' survivability away in this fight. So let's just give him, like, I guess, a break on the type coverage. But to me, it does make this fight end up being, like, a little bit... I don't want to say it's easy, because Broly can still catch you, and it's just super annoying. But we do have so many characters now that are designed around Red Zone that can handle this kind of punishment, that it's not really a problem anymore, so... Anyway, that's the Broly fight. Again, we shouldn't really have any trouble in here. Worst case scenario is, like, the Tech Gokus get super. Now, I do think Beast Gohan, like, breaks an AoE, possibly. I don't remember, but... it's not a big deal. So, I mean, we've got so much type coverage, so much, like, Key Blast nullification stuff that's going on in this fight that nothing really crazy goes on in here. I think we do get the revive with Tech Goku. We might even get the KO. I don't remember. But anyway, enjoy the rest of the fight. Thank you guys for watching. I'll try to get the Wicked Bloodline one out as soon as possible, and then the Red Ribbon Army one soon to follow. So enjoy the rest of the OST we got playing. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all the support we've had recently, especially during this Golden Week celebration. We've been, I don't say we've been blowing up, but I have seen significant channel growth. And so everybody who's followed, everybody who's liked the videos, comments, I try to read all the comments. I try to leave hearts on all the ones that I've read, or comment on the ones that I feel like I have a good comment to. If I don't comment, if I don't reply, it's not because, like, you might just be like, I don't know what to say. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm just stumped, or I don't know. Anyway, we got more content coming out on the channel. As always, stay tuned for more. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.